will work this morning. I just need to do a quick mic check. Please let me know if you can hear me this morning. If not, I will just revert to the mic that I had before. But let me know if you can hear me, and that would be great. Thank you so much. I would just appreciate knowing that. Okay, my name is Lisa Dublin. I'm a health and life coach, and I help you to speak, to live, and to lead with confidence because why should you not win? Hey, Constance, can you hear me on Instagram? Just let me know, please. I have a new mic, just trying out something new. We want to continue our series on resilience. I won't be before you very long, and I'm going to be talking about mindfulness. Do you know what that is? Do you practice that? Mindfulness is so key for you to be able to make the most. Yeah, okay, you can hear. Awesome, we're good. Mindfulness is so important for you to be able to make the most of good situations and to channel your mind where it's you want it to go in a good way. It's part of being resilient. So there's a lot to talk about. And the last while I've been speaking about so many things where resilience is concerned. We continue the conversation today. Let me just share my screen with you because I do have a definition of mindfulness I'd like to share with you. I think it's perhaps something we do naturally, normally, but just highlighting it in little mini sessions like this. What happens is you go away with, hey, let me try to practice this today. That's all it's about. So how are my diamonds doing in the To All the Girls Success Club? Good morning if you're listening to me on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on YouTube. You can go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube as well. But here's the definition. So sorry, actually, I need to bring this back a little bit. Let's go. There we go. Okay, right. Being mindful means staying in the moment as it is, moment after moment, rather than daydreaming, ruminating, or being distracted. In other words, you don't just bulldoze through the day. You take time to just check in with yourself. And I know, like, a lot of this sounds like stuff that other people do, stuff that seems so weak, stuff that seems so, I don't need to do that. I'm strong and I'm all of that. But if there's one thing that all of us know, having gone through COVID and survived, is that we do need strategies not only to take care of our bodies, but also to take care of our emotional selves, our well being, our mental well being is also very important. And so, this is what mindfulness is. Let's move on a little bit and talk about it. So, like I can check in with myself when everything's going well. When, I'm not having such a stressful day and I'm just sitting there and checking in. I'm drinking my coffee and, just even enjoying the sensation of the coffee going through my body. Yes, I drink my coffee. Leave me alone. Or perhaps you're having a little bath, you're in the bath and, you're just enjoying the water and the bubbles and the aroma of whatever, you're putting in the bath. What about the high stress moments? For example, what about in the heat of an argument? Is it easy to check in and to say, okay, Lisa, what are you doing right now? What exactly is going on? No, it's not as easy. And so we find that being mindful is often the thing that seems to escape from us when we need it most. But here's the thing that I've discovered since doing this kind of work. When it's a high stress situation, and I will share with you one of my high stress situations, okay? One of them, I am a mother of teenagers. They sometimes they make you fly off the handle. Oh no, you fly off the handle because of them. Nobody makes you do anything. What I have found, because I've really been working on not shouting, not being the kind of person who's just like, oh my gosh, I can get lit. Okay. What I have found is that in practicing mindfulness and checking in with myself, asking myself the question in the heat of the moment, Lisa, what are you doing right now? As humbling as it can be, Hey, Jan, how are you? As humbling as it can be, sometimes it helps me to take it down a notch or two. Does anybody have that experience? Or can you see yourself, instead of flying off the handle totally, using that check in system with yourself to help you to calm down, to realize what you're doing, and to adjust in the moment? That has been one of the biggest areas of growth in my relationship and in parenting. What about you? What has been it for you for mindfulness? And do you practice it on a daily basis? Like, I don't know, since COVID, I've been after a better quality of life. Perhaps it's because, we were sent home, and, that afforded people, including me, that ability to take it a little slower than normal. And that brought with it certain advantages, I think. Okay? Let's go back to sharing. Hey, Instagram, how are you doing? Let's continue the conversation on mindfulness and see where we are at. Okay. So, obviously, that's the challenge, as we said, and you have to be able to, when in the heat, when things are not going as well, to do that check in and to figure out what's going on. Let's move on. Okay. So, there's something that is so important and helps us to give direction to what we're talking about where mindfulness is concerned: experience dependent neuroplasticity. So the nervous system has the ability to be changed by your experiences. And one way to deepen the experiences is with mindfulness. So basically, I'm sure we've heard that saying, that you become what you think about, or it's the law of attraction, that what you think about, you attract to you. It is all related, and there is evidence for it, not just in philosophy and people talking, but even in terms of the mind and the work that's done there in psychology. You see that experience dependent neuroplasticity, you can actually train your brain to think a certain way and create different pathways that are going to help you in the future. So it's possible. Let's move on, right? Just further explanation: if you gradually become what your attention rests upon, then doesn't it make sense that we keep our attention on as many things that are enjoyable and useful in the day, and draw them into yourself, savoring the moment, checking in, and not judging what you're feeling, but acknowledging it in the moment as it happens, without judgment, but with full um, awareness of what you are feeling right then and there. That's what mindfulness is. What's going on right now? Many times now, I stop myself. What are you feeling right now? I do a check, just a check in my body. You don't have to be touching or whatever. I just check in with myself. What am I feeling? And sometimes there might be irritation. I remember, like, around 2021 or so, when I really started getting into coaching and that kind of thing, I came upon the conclusion, after checking in daily with myself and so on, that hey, because you wake up so early, it makes sense that by evening time, you seem to be super irritated. So then, Lisa, what are you going to do with that knowledge? And one of the things I decided to do was, obviously, I don't want to be that kind of shrew, that kind of virago in my house. Go to bed a little earlier. Or if you can take a nap during the day, do that. That way you'll be ready for the challenges of, children coming home, needing help with homework, having to do dinner, and all of that. That decision came from the mindfulness of checking in and stepping outside of myself and seeing me really forcing myself to, be awake and be alive at certain times of the day, and recognizing that it wasn't working for me. So, what about you? What if today, as you go along your day, we're still talking about resilience and mindfulness being part of that entire journey? What if you just check in with yourself? You might be driving to work right now, you might be getting the kids ready. You might be perhaps on the treadmill. I know some people are watching me on the treadmill. Good morning if you are already getting your exercise in. Wherever you are, check in right now. Just simply ask yourself the question, what are you feeling right now? And you can personalize it. I like to call myself by my nickname, by my home name. It kind of makes it very intimate. And it lessens the pressure of wanting to say what it should be as opposed to what it really is, if that makes any sense. Let's move right along. So, you guys, one of the biggest treasures in my life is having a relationship with God and finding that there's evidence for the things that God speaks about in the rest of life and vice versa. And this thing about the experience based neuroplasticity and the law of attraction, if you want to go that way, that's fine. But also for people of faith, you have that same advantage and that same mandate in the Bible. Philippians 4:18 talks about the same thing. So you have that sense of focus on the things that are good from every aspect of life. So Philippians 4:18 says, whatever things are true, and this is, I think, I forgot what version this is, but this one is just as good. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. That puts you in a different mood. It doesn't mean that you are avoiding or denying that there is there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. But I dare say that kind of mindfulness and fixing your thoughts on those positive things literally gives you the energy and the kind of perspective you need to go out and to solve the problems of the world and in your life. It doesn't take away from it. It actually gives you access to deeper resources for you to be able to solve the problems of life. It's very true. And so we find that when we talk about mindfulness, and we're going to end very shortly, I have to go and do my run. Mindfulness is key to regulating your attention so that you get the most out of beneficial experiences while limiting the impact of stressful or harmful ones. So be mindful today. Check in with yourself, see what you're thinking. And I have a couple suggestions here of how to practice mindfulness. There's something that I learned from as a coach, and I help my clients with it, and I practice it quite a lot. And it is the whole thing of doing a thought download, where every morning it kind of works like I don't want to be gross here, but a bowel movement, okay, where you just dump it all down on paper. And thoughts are things. That's the thing. Thoughts are things. So you put them down on paper, all what you're thinking at a certain time, right there. And somehow they're no longer in your brain. And so you have the choice to decide on which thoughts you put back in or which ones you're just simply going to leave right there on paper. But I have found this to be one of the exercises that I've added to my morning routine sometimes, especially when my mind is full. Write it all down and look at it, not with judgment, but be like, okay, I'm sorting through things like what's going on in here? What's going on in my mind? Obviously, another method of practicing mindfulness is meditation, and you can take it from various aspects. I love to do a practice called skin to skin. It is meditation, but with a spiritual benefit, I think. You can go check it out. Just type in skin to skin on YouTube. And Tiffany Montgomery is the first person I heard talk about it. And I've been practicing it, and I recognize, okay, yes, it has like connection with the Holy Spirit, but at a certain very basic level, it is meditation, but I think meditation with added advantage. Here's something else: practice sitting still. Practice sitting still. That kind of silence and that kind of slowing down, it has advantages of just making your foundational being calm and infusing peace where there was chaos before. The older I get, the more I realize life is about slowing down and doing the essential. It's not about flitting from flower to flower. You're not a butterfly, if that makes any sense. Another way to increase mindfulness and to bring it into your life is to reduce distractions. If you know me well enough, my phone is always on do not disturb because most things are disturbances. A lot of like checking in and getting all of these notifications on your phone, and man, a lot of this is not necessary. So my phone is just on do not disturb, and there are favorites who can obviously we take those calls, the kids school, the kid this, you know what I mean. But for the most part, I just simply guard my mind. My peace is very important to me. And so, one of the ways to increase mindfulness and to practice it is to reduce distractions by any means necessary. You don't have to answer every call, you don't have to take on every battle. Like, choose your battles. Some of them are just simply meant to distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. And you need to recognize that. I don't know, it might be a Canadian thing. Hey, Emlyn, you tried this thing of writing your thoughts down last night and doing a 20-minute meditation this morning, and you think it's working. Oh my goodness, yes, it really is. That's my friend on Instagram right there. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram. Lots of highlights of the exercise and everything there at Lisa M. Dublin. I would love if you followed me there, right? I was saying something, but I forgot. And then Emlyn had her comment right there. That's great. Okay, so reduce distractions and check in regularly with yourself. I love to talk about clarifying questions, questions that just simply bring you to the moment of what you need to be doing right now. And one of them for me is, what are you feeling right now, Lisa? What's going on in you right now? What are you feeling? Not what you should be feeling, which is what I always tell my clients. Like, I'm not interested in what should be. No, we're not here to judge. We're here to work on what really is, because that's where it begins. If you begin with knowledge, then you can decide what to do with that knowledge. That's it. And so ask yourself the question several times a day. What am I feeling right now? What? Once you have identified the feeling, then you have to question, okay, why am I feeling this? What's causing this? And then that takes you even further into all sorts of other things we'll discuss later. And lastly is, in your mind, you should have refuge. Find little pockets of refuge. Maybe it might be you for me, I'm always on a beach somewhere, a wild beach. That's refuge for me. In my head. Where in your head can you go that brings you joy, that is a buffer from the world? Where can you go in your head, and what image, what experience can you savor again and again when it gets tough, that can help you to be resilient on the outside? All of these lovely things are part of mindfulness. If you want to read more about mindfulness, one of the books that I recommend would be Resilient by Dr. Rick Hansen, I think his name is. That's a really great resource. I'm sure there are others out there. You can text me, let me know, drop them in the comments what books help you with mindfulness, help you with resilience, which is the bigger topic of our last 2 weeks. But thank you so much, everybody. We're right on time. Yay! Right on time. Thank you for watching this morning. And I might be on tomorrow. I'm not quite sure, just because of I'm planning some videos and so on, and they're taking up a lot of time, and I might need that time to edit and put on captions, put them out there into the world, continue to give value. So I hope you heard me this morning. Let me know if the video was clearer. Just trying to get this right. And thank you to everybody who's watching out for me. Have a great day. Be mindful today. Check in with yourself. Savor the coffee. Savor the scent of, spring, or wherever you are. Whatever is going on, that's great and good and lovely. Slow down. Smell the roses or the tulips. I don't know, the sunflowers, whatever. Okay. but it's time for us to start to be mindful if we're not doing it already. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.